Hello. Today we're going to learn how to make a basic for loop in JavaScript. And what we're going to do is we're going to build a for loop to print out the numbers from 1 to 20 in the console. Alright, the basic for loop requires a few things. Here's the way the syntax works. For, because we're going to do something for some condition, here's the condition. Now we have to set up some sort of counter for it to run through this loop the amount of times that we like it to. So we're going to be running for I equal to 0. That's where we're going to start out at 0. And then we use a semicolon to break up parts of the condition. So for starting at I equals to 0 and going until while I is less than 20. Means that it's going to run from the for loop at start at I equals 0, and it's going to go until I is less than 20, 19. As soon as the for loop gets to 20, then it'll stop running. Well, we have to have some way to increment the for loop. So what we do is we want to make sure that I is going up each time, and the syntax for that is I plus plus. Alright, so now what's going to happen is this for loop is going to start at 0. It's going to run it's going to run while I is less than 20, and each time it runs through it's going to increase I one time. And so 19 will be the last time it runs, because as soon as it increases to 20 it'll be done. This will start at 0, go to 19. That's 20 times. We should be able to have this run through the loop 20 times. Alright, now that we have the conditions, the next thing we have to do is use curly brackets to give us the place to put our code in for what we want to have happen. Alright, now what we're doing now is we're using I to count the for loop, and we want to print out the numbers 1 through 20 in the console. Well, the way to get something to print in the console is to use the console.log code, console.log, and then inside the parentheses we're going to put what we want to print. Well, in this case we want to print numbers 1 through 20. And we already have a counter going on. We have I counting 0 to 19. So in the console, if we put in I plus 1, if that's what we have print out, then it should print out the numbers from 1 to 20. Now we need a semicolon at the end so that it knows to break that line of code, and that's going to be our for loop. Alright, let's see if it works. We hit the run button, and there you can see the numbers from 1 to 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 20. So our for loop works nicely. Remember, what you need to have is you need to have a place to start, you need to have a place to end, you need to have a way to increment each time. Alright, that's it for for loops. Join us next time when we start talking about if-then statements, if-else loops, and other types of recursion that we can do in programming.